The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. How you doing? It's me, the Ron Van Dam Show. Guess which one I am? Thanks for being here. I come into the studio. I come unto you once a week, and I do my radio program on this TV cable station so that you can see my arms move when I make a gesture, which makes the show so much more lively and enjoyable than if you just listen to it. So there you go. Whatever, okay? Anyway, how you doing? Don't answer me, I can't hear you. Good to be with you. It's the middle of the summer. What's going on with this? I don't know when you're watching this. Could be in the middle of the winter, I have no idea. But we're doing this in the middle of the summer. It's been awful. I used to like the summer. Now I hate it. Every day is humid. I can't do a thing with the hair that I have left, which is even more insulting. It's just been awful. I still have allergies. Now there's forest fires in Canada with these fine particles going up my nose. It's just, and it's terrible. Of course, in other parts of the country, it's been 114 degrees every single day for 10 days now. You can fry an egg on the sidewalk and add some ham or bacon on the street and have yourself a nice little meal. It's awful. I don't like the summers anymore. It's not good. Try to go into the ocean. There are sea creatures wrapping around my feet. It's awful. Could be a shark or two, or maybe a blue whale, maybe a red one. I don't know what colors they come in anymore. I don't shop for them as often as I used to. Man, I used to save the whales, but I ran out of room in my closet. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I want to tell you a story that's interesting. I have to learn how to smile more, but these days there's not much to smile about, to be honest with you, because it seems like everything's falling apart in front of our eyes. It started with that COVID thing and then just went downhill from there. You can create all kinds of misjustices, all kinds of all kinds of crimes and conspiracy things, but it's okay now. But now it's okay. Morality is out the window. There's no such thing anymore. Role models are crooks. The hell, man. You want to indict somebody, you gotta wait like 6 years to bring him to trial. Come on. If I did something wrong criminally or otherwise, they'd haul my ass into jail within 10 minutes and put me in a cell. What, are you kidding me? I don't have that kind of money. Yeah, all men are created equal. No, I don't know who wrote that. I don't know what book that's in. Is that, what is that, Constitution, the Bible, War and Peace? I don't know where that is. I'm not sure. Cat in the Hat. What book is that in? Not created equal. We're not created equal. There's no way about it. The justice for all? No. Those that have a lot of money and power can pay their way out of things. Those of us that don't, you're screwed, and you know it. That's our system. That's our system. No one is above the law. A lot of them are above the law. Depends on how much money you have. See, I'm making a gesture. That's why it was worth it to come in here today. Every once in a while, my day becomes bright, and it's for a very, very small reason, but it's all it takes. it wasn't long ago. I think it was a few months ago. I was in another town, not this one certainly. And I was walking down the street, and I don't know, it was fine. And there was this good-looking young lady walking in the other direction. She wasn't young, she wasn't old, she was middle-aged, like the Three Bears. She was just right. Dressed very nicely, looked really nice, respectable, a nice gait to her walk. And she was walking toward me on one side of the sidewalk, and I was walking down the sidewalk, coming toward her. She was a little bit to the left. I was a little bit to the right. I'm not talking about politically. That's just where we were on the sidewalk. And as we got closer, she glanced over to me. I was probably about 6 feet away from her, walking toward her in the opposite direction. And she glanced toward me, and she put on her face this tiny little recognizable smile. That the smile was saying, I see you, and I'm saying hello, without even talking. And at the same time, as it was occurring, oddly enough, a smile started to erupt on my face like Krakatoa. And I smiled at her, and she smiled at me, and we glanced for about maybe 5 seconds at each other, and then we passed each other and kept walking. That was a good day. That small little incident, that small little smile back and forth between strangers that will never meet again, have no relation, no connection, and will not have one in the future. But that small encounter of a smile, 2 ships passing in a night, that made my day. And I think it made hers. I don't know. I don't know her. I haven't seen her since. But it's the smallest little things like that that don't happen anymore. People don't smile at each other. Sometimes we wave at each other. It's a passive wave. It's not an enthusiastic wave. It's not like, hey, how are ya? We don't do that. That's annoying. Waves are like this. And again, I'm doing television so I can demonstrate. Here's a typical wave. That's it. Raise the hand, goes back down. It's not very engaging. It's just recognition that you happen to exist somewhere within my periphery. Yeah, things are different now. I got to tell you, I didn't mind the COVID thing. I'm sorry to say that. I didn't mind it because it was a vacation from people. It was a time when people actually said, just stay home and shut up. That's what I want to do anyway. Don't get me wrong. It was a scary time. People I knew were dying all over the place. I could have been next. Family members could have been next. It was freaking scary. Go to the supermarket. There's no toilet paper on the shelves. How scary can it get? It was an awful time. Time I'll never forget. But if there was an upside, it was that I didn't have to deal with people for a couple of years. And the only communication I had with other human beings was going on that Zoom thing. I'd never heard of Zoom before. I thought it was a TV show for kids. But no, it was like a Skype kind of deal, but Skype was kind of getting outdated. So people have business meetings sitting in their home in front of a screen, and for 2 years, they didn't have to wear pants. You've come up with a pandemic where you don't have to wear pants? Yes, we did. That went on for 2 years. A lot of people are saying, oh, I feel so confined. I was saying, this is fantastic. Just don't let me get sick, that's all. Yeah, it wasn't so bad. You know what else was bad is that it was a global thing. People are dying all over the place. They were scared. They didn't know what stopped it. I mean, if I breathe wrong, I could be in a hospital and that'd be it. We didn't know. We were all scared. But then the conspiracy theories started coming out because that's what we do these days. We conspiracy everything. No, there's no such. This is made up by the Democrats. There's no such thing as COVID. That's made up. Well, it's a very elaborate plan they've come up with. And it's just awful. It's just, instead of us becoming closer and trying to all come together, it actually divided us. What? Do you remember the World Trade Towers? Remember those things? That was horrific. I was on the air. I was doing a morning show. I was a morning show host, and that happened on my watch as we were doing the show. It was horrific. It was horrible. I'll never forget it. The worst moment of my life. But after it happened, this country banded together like it never had before. We were all saying to each other, we're all in the same boat. Happened to be the Titanic, but that's besides the point. Political differences didn't make a difference anymore. Nothing. We all gathered together. We saw rainbows in the sky. We were never closer to our neighbors than we were then. We helped each other. We bonded. We cried together. We prayed together. Hasn't happened since. COVID comes around, it actually divides us. What? Your parents are dying. I know, but I still can't get along with anybody. Come on. And that's the sorry state of affairs that we are in right now. And I don't really want to talk about this to any great degree, but I don't understand why the justice system has to go so slow. Whereas if any one of us did anything that you-know-who is being accused of and we all saw with our own eyes, we'd be in jail by now serving time. But not if you have power and not if you have enough money to delay justice or alter it. And that's the weird part of it. Okay, I move on. Thank you so much for being here. I don't like babies. I like my babies, but your babies not so much. Why would I like your children? Because they're children? I must like them? Is that a rule? I don't care for your children. You should. You should love them to death. They are part of you, physically. Why should I have to say that they're wonderful and adorable? They're not. They're not adorable. They're not wonderful. But I'll say it anyway, just to get out of there. Ron, all babies are cute. No, they're not. They're annoying, especially the ones on airplanes. Yeah, I'm not a baby guy. I'm not. I will fondle a young puppy to pieces. I love young puppies. But young babies, not so much. Not so much. Maybe it's because I know what young children will eventually grow into, and that doesn't excite me too much. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But I don't get excited. One of my friends, I use the term friends very loosely, said, hey, you want to come to our house and see the new baby? Oh, it's a new one, huh? Sure. But no. But sure. So I go to the house. Guy and his wife are there. They pour us a glass of wine because that's what you do when you visit somebody. We can't do anything without having a glass of wine in our hands. It's not civilized. And they take us into the nursery, and there's a baby in the little thing, the crib, what do you call that thing? And the baby's just lying there, and I didn't quite understand what I was doing there. Oh, look, a baby. Like, I've never seen one of those before. That's an odd-looking creature. Yes, I've seen babies before. But you haven't seen our baby. No. Now I have, what do you want me to do about it? Isn't she the cutest baby you've ever seen? No, she's not. But you can't say that because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. It's so much easier just to say, all of a sudden, I have an incredible migraine headache and I've got to go home. You don't know, man. I don't know. People are annoying me. There's a town near where I live called Easton. You familiar with this place? It's a nice town. Wouldn't want to live there, but it's nice. Since August of 2021, almost 2 years ago, I've been getting postcards from them. And they're not postcards of visit Easton, it's a beautiful place, wish you were here. No, the postcard says, your water is not good. Your water does not meet the standards of water. You can drink it, but whatever. Good luck. Spin the wheel. We'll see what happens. It doesn't meet the requirements of water, drinking water. So we're going to be building a new water plant. I see. And it was 2 years ago. Where is this thing? Now, I don't claim to be into this stuff. All I know is I'm still getting postcards 2 years later that say, hey, that water thing, it's still a problem. Then I checked around and I found that this town called Easton isn't the only town that has drinking water that is not up to regulations. There are quite a few towns that don't have good drinking water. And this makes me feel better. I don't understand it. I don't. It's water. Can we fix this? I don't understand what the problem is. And I don't, you know what? I don't have to understand because I don't work for a water department. I'm not a water expert. I drink it. That's about all I know. I don't have to know this. This is why I pay property taxes, so I don't have to know all of this stuff. My message since August of 2021 with the water that is not meeting standards, I don't know if you have to build a new plant, pour some kind of supplement liquid into it to make it drinkable. I don't know. My message is, do something about it already. Stop sending me postcards and fix it. Now, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I don't have to. I didn't send you the postcard. You sent it to me. You're constantly reminding me that the drinking water, not so good here. Okay, fine. Whatever. Thank you. Thank you for the warning. This is why Americans walk around with these stupid thermos bottles. They're little canisters, usually made of metal now. They keep the water cold. Ooh, how do you do that? It's cold all day. Ooh. So now we walk around with water no matter where we go. Two things that we take with us everywhere we go, without question. No, not your wallet. We take a canister of water everywhere we go. And our cell phones. Those two things, lifelines. I can't leave without that. We have become a hydration nation. We've got to be hydrated all the time. Otherwise, we will wilt like an old flower and die, apparently. We must drink, 8 cups of water a day? 16 gallons? I don't know what it is. I have no idea. And you don't know you're drinking enough water until you're up peeing 6 times every night. Then you know, okay, I guess I am taking in some liquid here. I'm taking in water. The ship is going down. We're taking in water. I think my bladder is yelling to me, stop it! Stop putting stuff in me! You're overusing me. It's my bladder talking to my bladder speaks English, by the way. We got to hydrate ourselves. It's just you got to do it. If you're not carrying a canister, then get off the planet. You're not one of us. Cell phones, man. These babies here. I demonstrate this every once in a while. Had a guy on my show just this morning who was inventing some kind of case that the radiation from the cell phones, electromagnetic radiation or something. You see this thing? You see the cell phone? It'll kill you. It may not kill you today. It may not kill you tomorrow. But in 10, 20, 30 years, enjoy your brain cancer. And I'm not saying that in a sarcastically marvelous way. You know as well as I do, this thing is going to cause some problems someday. And by the way, we call it a cell phone. That's just one of its little functions. We don't even use it as a phone anymore. This is a pocket computer. It goes in your pocket, or if you're a woman, it goes up near your breasts. Not a good idea. For a woman, breast cancer. For a man, prostate crotch cancer. Cell phone towers are all over the place, beaming data. What do you think goes from the cell tower to this? A string? No, it's beaming stuff. Do you remember watching I'm sorry to yell at you. Do you remember watching the James Bond movies? They still do this, but the older James Bond movies, like from the 80s and 90s, the villains, the evil people that wanted to destroy the earth, and now it's starting to actually happen. The earth is actually getting destroyed. Ooh, I thought that was just a movie. No, now it's becoming kind of real. They used to build, the evil people, it was always on a big mountain somewhere. And it was a gigantic kind of observatory. And in it would be this laser machine that was as big as a bus. And they would point this laser electromagnetic wave thing. They would point it at things like hundreds and thousands of miles away. And it would send this radiation beam and destroy bridges hundreds of miles away simply by pointing this gigantic machine at it. And when I used to watch these James Bond things, it was like, that's funny. That'll never happen. There's no such thing as that. Oh, now there is. Now there is. Technology in the wrong hands right now can be catastrophic. And in a sense, it's amazing that it hasn't happened yet. So not to be the harbinger of doom or anything, but technology is moving faster than we know how to harness it. And now we go to artificial intelligence, or for short, AI. We call it AI instead of artificial intelligence because who's got the time to say those two words? That takes up a lot of time. Artificial intelligence. Oh my God, you've wasted so much time in my life. Can't we just say AI? Okay, we'll do that. Well, artificial intelligence, and I'm talking about basically just finding a date for Alexa. Artificial intelligence means that they're doing stuff that you don't have to do anymore. They will talk and they will command and they will make decisions for you. Oh, that's working out now. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We have no rules, no regulations, no path, no concept. But build it. What the hell? This is trouble. It's trouble. I hate artificial intelligence. The human race doesn't even have the real intelligence. I mean, there's an intelligence shortage, quite obviously. Just look at the political scene. There's no intelligence whatsoever. We're lacking it. Are people getting stupider, or is it just you? That didn't sound right, did it? Anyway, I have a lot more I can talk about, but the point is going to become more annoying than it is now. I'm just saying, man. I mean, if we can talk person to person, you and me, look, I'm pointing again for some kind of action involved in this program. If I can just like stop doing what people tell you to do. Give up your membership to the cult. Start making your own decisions based on your own analysis of the situation. Don't take somebody else's opinion and say, "Oh, that sounds right." Give it a little more thought than that. Because I'll tell you something. Let's go back to the old times. Let's start with morality. Let's put that on the top. Let's build a pyramid of decision making, shall we? Let's start with morality. Then let's go down the pyramid a little bit more. Let's go to respect. Let's do things that respect other people's situation too. Let's go further down the line a little bit to listen. Listen to their opinions. Try to understand where they're coming from. Let's go down the pyramid a little bit more to compromise. There's a lot of people on this planet bumping into each other. It's not easy to get them to do things that helps everybody. It's almost impossible. But if you listen to the other people and you discuss things, you come to an agreement in the middle. You can be far left, you can be far right. Usually ain't going to work out for either of you that way. Because we are a society and we are people, we have to live with each other. So the far left gets involved with the far right, and then they meet in the middle and they get stuff done. Doesn't make them happy. It doesn't make them happy, but in the long run, we exist a lot better because we got the morals high up, the respect under that, and the compromise down below. Those are the formulas for success. And that's when the people start to put their little smiles on their faces as they walk by each other. Give it a shot. Right now, we're further from that than ever. You and I can make it happen. First, let's make the water drinkable. Take it from there. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Wasn't a lot to ask. I think this is going to work out. Look, I'm going to be here next week with a brand new program. I hope you join me then. Watch some of the other shows on this channel. I don't know. You can find me on the internet machines or on syndicated radio stations. It's the Ron Van Dam Show. Google me. I'm all over the place. Annoyingly so, I admit. You can go to newenglandbroadcasting.com. Ron Van Dam Show, ronvandam.com, whatever. Put some pants on.net, whatever. Like me, love me, touch me, subscribe to me, listen to me. Go away. I wish you peace.